Okay, so again, I'm going to record this one and try to remember to post it on Google, on YouTube, which takes a little while to upload, and then post the link via Google Classroom. I give you notes, I write, you have to write. You cannot come in here and do it all in your head. We're not there yet. Okay, so you all should be working on DD5 and DD6. These should be completed today because some of you all have had access to it multiple days. So you're going to go down to DD5. Excuse me? Okay, well, you're going to do it today. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right, so look here. Do not be embarrassed on YouTube because you're having to be redirected. Sweet Dreams Bakery recently sold 16 desserts, including 4 cupcakes. Considering this data, how many of the next 12 desserts should you expect to be cupcakes? Now, if you like me, you might need to read it again. I'm not going to do this right now. There are 2 things taking place. In the first event, Sweet Dreams Bakery recently sold 16 desserts, including 4 cupcakes. In the second event, we want to know how many would be cupcakes if she sold 12 desserts. I like to highlight stuff. It said sold 16 desserts, including 4 cupcakes. Do I need to add here to figure out my total?
Yes.
Including, I have 5 dogs, including 2 German Shepherds. How many dogs do I have?
5.
How many are German Shepherds?
2.
I have sold 16 desserts, including 4 cupcakes. How many desserts did I sell?
16.
How many are cupcakes?
4.
You might want to write somewhere on your sheet of paper. If this says including, you don't add. I verbally said, if it says including, don't add. That's right. Tell your classmates again because somebody did hear you. All right, so you do not add. So how many desserts do I have?
16.
How many of the 16 are cupcakes?
4.
4. Remember, what goes on the bottom?
16. The total.
The total. Okay, now that's our first event. We want to know what would happen if we had 12. So all you need to do is divide your first event ratio and multiply that by 12. That's all you gotta do. What is 4 divided by 16? You got a calculator, pick it up.
0.25. 1, 4.
Okay, pick up your calculators. I hear some people yelling out 4.
125.
Yeah, all right. Give it to me as a decimal. 0.25. I'm going to multiply that by 12 because we want to know if we sell 12, how many are we going to expect? Remember, this is our relative frequency, okay? This is the percentage, 25% of what we have. So what is 0.25 times 12? 3. So what this tells us is in the next 12 desserts, we can predict that 3 of them will be cupcakes. Okay? I'm going to put my answer in here. Huh? I'm going to take a quick screenshot. But this will also hopefully be uploaded for you all. You trying to be YouTube famous, I see. All right, got that one right. Now, let's look at the next one. It says yesterday a car rental agency rented 9 vehicles, of which 3 were utility vehicles. Okay? Considering this data, how many of the first 15 vehicles rented today. Should you expect to be sport utility vehicles? 2 events taking place here. The first one, yesterday they had 9 vehicles. Okay, let me get my pen up here. 9 vehicles, of which 3 were sports utility vehicles. How many vehicles did I have?
9.
How many were sports utility vehicles?
3.
So I'm gonna put what on the bottom?
9.
9. And what's gonna go on top?
3.
3. Now, let me stop here. If you have 9 over 3, if your largest number is on top, that's a red flag. How are you gonna have 9 sports vehicles out of 3 of them?
You don't.
That's impossible. Yes.
I'm doing one. It's a repeated number.
Okay, we're gonna get to it. All right, so in our second event, they want to know today, of those first 15 vehicles rented, how many are expected to be sports utility vehicles? So we need to multiply this, divide 3 over 9, and multiply that by what?
15.
15. What is 3 over 9? Get your calculators. This is not optional.
It's 1.
All I need you to do is follow the first step. Get your put your hand down. Put your hand down. Yeah, put your hand down. On the computer? That's fine. So I'm hearing some people say Miss Godfrey is 0.333 repeated. What did I say yesterday if you had 0.333 repeated? It's repeating. Do not clear your calculator out. At this point, we're going to multiply that, what you have in your calculator, by what?
15.
By 15. What is that going to give you?
5.
No, tell me what the calculator says.
4.99999.
4.9 repeating. Round this to a whole number. This will give you 5. Okay? Is that hard?
No.
No. All right. Let me take a little screenshot of this. Bear with me while I do all the stuff in the background. We're going to put 5 right here. I'm going to do one more with you all, and then we're going on to look at DD6. All right, so Camille surveyed 12 students at her school and found that 6 of them plan to take dance at as their next elective. If Camille surveys 10 more students, how many of them are probably planning on taking dance at as their elective based on the past data? So based on past data, how many can we expect? Well, let's look at our first event. The complete data that they give us, we got to look at that past data of those past events. It says 12 at her school and found that 16 of them plan to take the elective. So I can't get all the way down here. So here we go. How many students did we have? 12. 12 is our total, right?
Mhm.
And of the 12, how many are taking dance as electives? 6. Now we're going to divide that. And in our question, it says if she surveys 12 more students. So what are we going to have to do with that? 10 more students. Multiplied by 10. What is 6 divided by 12? 0.5. 0.5 times 10 is what?
5.
Not hard at all, huh? And we did not have to add here. Let me address this. 12 students at the school and found that 6 of them, 6 of what? 6 of the 12 students. This is why English comes into place. 6 of the 12 students. Not 6 additional students, not 6 other students, 6 of them. All right. And if you notice, I'm showing work as I go. So on your paper, guess what you might need to do?
Show work.
Show some work. especially if you come asking me for help. Okay, so Dee, any questions on similar problems as those? Any questions? Yes.
It says Joseph.
I'm I'm not gonna work a problem with you.
So it says 9 red marbles and 15 other marbles. So you
Okay, go ahead.
so do you
Draw me 9 of the first one, then draw me the other ones, and you tell me should you add them together. All right, so do you have any questions regarding this? If you're stuck and not sure whether to add or not add, although I have keywords over there on the board to help you, you're going to have to draw them out. And then you have to ask those questions. Asking yourself those questions, are you thinking? Please don't have me call your name and embarrass you on YouTube where your parents can have access to this. So if you know you're not turning around in your seat properly and paying attention, you might want to before I call you out by your name. Okay. You need to pay attention. Nobody should be doing anything on the computers right now. You should be paying attention. Please do not take a deep breath or huff and puff when you're giving directions, because you all will be quick to run up here and ask questions when you were not paying attention while the teacher was giving out instructions. Thank you. Okay, moving on to DD6. This is the same thing, same process, just worded a little bit differently. If you roll a 6-sided die 6 times, what is the best prediction possible for the number of times that you will roll a 1? I'm going to give you all some steps on this. Same thing. The first thing you want to do is find the probability if you were to roll it 1 time.
What is the best prediction possible for the number of times you will roll a 1?
If you did an event once. Okay. So if we roll that dice 1 time, what is the probability that we would land on a 1? 1 out of 6. 1 out of 6. Now we're gonna take that, and in our next step, we're gonna do it for what we're looking for. We're looking for if we did it 6 times. So you're gonna multiply that probability by what you're looking for. So we're looking for if you were to do it 6 times. So we're going to say 1 over 6 times 6. Looks familiar, huh? So put 1 divided by 6 into your calculator. Multiply that by 6. What is 1 divided by 6?
0.1666666.
Something repeated. Multiply that by 6.
So 0.16 line. 0.99996.
Somebody talking over here. Who was that saying that? 0.99999.
That was me.
Okay, babies. It was both of y'all. I'm sorry. It's okay. It was all of you all who said it, okay? It's okay. I'm sorry if I missed somebody. Very well, those who all said it. Thank you. I'm just not going to point out anybody. Very good, those who said it. Make sure I don't miss anybody. Okay, so 1 divided by 6 gave you what? 0.333 repeating?
0.99999.
0.9 repeating?
No, 6. 0.9 repeated. It says
Wait, give me.
0.99999.
Okay.
0.96.
0.9 repeating. It gave you a 6 because you ran out of space. Okay. If you had more room in your calculator, it would have given you more nines. So 0.9 repeating times 6, which gave you what? 0.9 repeating,
Yes.
which will give us what?
1.
1. So our answer here is 1. Remember, round up. Remember our steps because I'm not going to write them again. So remember our steps. We're going to find out the probability if we did it once, and then we're going to multiply that by what we're looking for. Okay? Same steps every time. So here we have, if you spin the spinner 10 times, what is the best prediction possible for the number of times it will land on green? So the first thing we need to know, if we were to spin this spinner one time, what is the probability of us landing on green?
So 4.
4 out of 10. That's the probability if we were to spin it one time, 4 out of 10. Now we're going to multiply that probability by what?
10.
By 10. That's what we're looking for. By 10. What is 4 divided by 10?
0.4.
0.4 times 10 is what?
4.
Any questions here? Any questions here? Any questions here? Yes.
You just press 4 since it's just 4 over 10.
Do what?
Couldn't you just pick it's only gonna be like 4 over 10? Couldn't you just do the top number of 10 instead of doing what we stuff? Yeah, because on the last one, whatever 6 was a 1, 2.
Yes, but you have to make sure that that's something that everyone can do. So it's always good to know multiple ways to do math. That's easier if you have a calculator. Now, if you know how to multiply straight across, that's perfectly all right because you're going to have to multiply and you're going to have to reduce. So that's fine. So if you want to do, like this one here says, if you roll a 6-sided dice 6 times, what is the best prediction that you will roll a 2? We know that is 1 out of 6, right? So you can say we're still going to always find our probability of our first event if we did it one time. So that will be 1 out of 6. If you can multiply 6 over 1, give you 6 over 6 is equal to 1, that's fine. If you have struck problems or issues or not real confident in multiplying fractions and you have a calculator, just divide it and then multiply it. Okay. Remember, with math, the good thing is we have multiple ways of learning things or solving things. So yes, that's another way. You're still going to find the probability if you did it once, and then you're going to multiply it by the other one, which is the same thing that we did. Any questions here? Any questions? Okay, yes. Have you gotten your total? Before you come to me, at this point, we should have totals. If you're not sure what your total is, I'm going to need you to draw me some pictures. Huh?
It's sort of like flipping the coins on DD6. It's like the prediction of what.
If you flip it one time, what's that probability going to be? You say you don't know?
Well, I mean, like, you can flip it on here to tell, so like,
But what does the question ask you?
it say if you flip a coin 8 times, what is the best prediction?
Well, if you flip, go ahead. Best prediction possible for what?
For the number of times it will land on head.
If you flip it one time, what is the probability of it landing on heads as a fraction? Huh? Yes. Then we're just gonna multiply it by the number of times that it asks you about. It's the same thing. Same example. If you roll a six-sided dice 6 times, what is the best prediction of the number of times you will roll a die with an odd number? Now I'm gonna draw this out because some of us don't know how many numbers are the numbers that are on a die. So I'm going to draw it. On your paper, you might have to draw. Or list your numbers, whichever one works best for you. One is an odd number. 2 is an even number. 3 is an odd number. 4 is an even number. 5 is an odd number. 6 is an even number. What is the probability if I were to roll it one time of ending on an odd number? 1/2. That's how we got 3 out of 6, which is equal to 1/2. If you want to use the 3 out of 6, that's fine. Now, if you want to use your calculator, you can say 1/2 times 6. 1/2 times 6, that's going to give you 0.5 times 6, which is 3. Okay? If you want to do the multiplication all the way across, that's 1/2. And if you roll it 6 times 6, that will give you 1 times 6 is 6 over 2. Because there's a 1 here, 2 times 1 is 2. 6 divided by 2 will give you 3. Either way, you get 3. You can do it either way. Yes?
So I want a question. So if you select a marble without looking and put it back, if you use 5 times, what is the best prediction possible of the number of times you will make a marble that's not orange? None of them is orange, so it would be 1 times 5.
None of them are orange?
None of them are.
So what's the probability of getting an orange if none of them are orange? If there are no orange, I would assume you cannot pull any orange. Did you get it? You just don't be scared. Go on and do it.